What is good, y'all? That was weird, right? Okay, so I'm going to try to keep this video under 5 minutes. I won't hold my breath because I'm a rambler, but this video is for my peeps, my millennials with student loans. We're going to be talking about the 5 things you can expect when you are expecting student loans, currently paying student loans, or about to be paying student loans, okay? So the first thing we're going to start talking about the first thing we're going to start talking about is, 1, a refund check. So, you've taken out a loan, you've paid your schooling, and for some reason, you get a refund check from your school, okay? That refund check is not your money, okay? So you should not be spending that refund check. It is some sort of mistake that has happened, okay, that has left you with a balance, and then you no longer have a balance. So they give you this pretty little piece of paper and say, here, you know what? You go and live your best life. Now, that leads us to number 2, okay? Don't spend the refund check. You have 2 options of things you can do with that refund check. The first thing, the smart thing for you to do with that refund check is for you to pay your next semester, or pay whatever balance, or pay whatever else you have to pay for your schooling. It is really important that you take that check and you put it back into the cycle of paying for the tuition part of your schooling, because that's essentially why you took the loan, right? You didn't take a loan for books. Now, if you have no balance, or you're about to graduate, or you have no next semester to pay for, what you can do with that refund check is take it right on back and send it to the loan company that cut the check in the first place, right? So you are essentially paying back the money that they gave you ahead of time, which is smart and will help give you less headache as you approach your adulthood of paying loans. Okay, the third thing you can expect when you are expecting student loans is high-ass interest. Now, there is a difference between unsubsidized, subsidized, federal, and private loans, and that will be a whole other video because that could take a long time to explain, right? But when you have private loans, which is what we're going to talk about because those are the worst kinds, when you have private loans, the government has a very difficult time, or if any time at all, controlling the interest rate. So for example, I'll use myself. My private loans, the highest interest rate I had on one of my loans was 14.7%. That is higher than all of my credit card interest rates. I was on 2 of my private loans. The highest interest rate I have on my federal loan is 5.5%. Now, what does that mean for you when you are paying your student loans? When you graduate from college, essentially in the beginning, especially if you do not have a job lined up, or a job that pays well, or a job that pays well enough for you to live on your own and to pay principal payments, you're going to be in an interest-only payment plan for probably the first 2 to 4 years of your loan life. That is what I did. And the payments will be smaller, so you will be excited, you'll be overjoyed that you're only giving $200 instead of the $1,200 they wanted you to give. Right? Now, what happens is, although you're making interest-only payments, right? I shouldn't put quotes. You're making interest-only payments, it's not enough to cover all of the interest that's building up. So what will happen is, when you look at your statement over years of interest-only payments, you will see that the amount that you actually borrowed is, you have more in debt than what you actually borrowed. So for example, I took out a loan for $7,000 in 2007 to pay my sophomore year, my spring semester of my sophomore year. I just paid off that loan 2 weeks ago, and I paid off the balance, and the balance was $12,000. Now, the reason that it was $12,000 is because for the first 3 years of that loan's life, I was making only interest-only payments. So that interest kept capitalizing and adding and adding and adding, and by the time I was ready to pay it all off, I was paying off more than I borrowed. And I essentially have paid more than $12,000 because I was making all those interest-only payments that did not cover the principal at all. So it is very important, if you can, at any point in your life, the early part of your life of paying loans, you want to make principal payments. Even if it's just $20, $30, $40, $50 a month extra towards the principal, you want to do that because you will pay a lot more due to the high interest. Now, the next thing, the 4th thing that you can expect when you are expecting student loans or paying student loans, you can expect a lot of communication. My advice to you, do not run. They will find you. We all run. They found us all. Okay? You will get phone calls from places you didn't even know existed on the map. They will contact your mother, your brother, your boyfriend, sister's girlfriend, whatever, right? They will find a way to find you. Now, your most important step in dealing with that fourth thing to expect, is to talk to them. I know we don't want to do it. We have to do it. The best reason for you to talk to them is because you can help set up a plan of what you can pay versus what they expect you to pay. You don't want your wages garnished. You don't want your credit affected, although this happens to many of us. So you do want to have an open line of communication with them, even when they get annoying as shit, because they will get annoying and they will text you and they will call you from different numbers from all over the globe. Talk to them. The fifth and final thing that you can expect when you are expecting student loans or to pay student loans is that you will not be able to do everything that you expected to do when you graduate from college. Unless you were coming out of college with a really great paying job, which God bless your soul, you will not be able to pay rent, to go on vacations, to save thousands of dollars a month, and pay principal-only payments all in one breath, right? You may be able to do one or the other, a few of the two, three, four, five things, but a lot of times, especially on the internet, it's expected of us in our 20s to be able to do all of these things, to buy a home, to pay rent, to live on our own, to buy groceries outside of ramen noodles, right? And to work and to be paying off our loans and be done in 10 years. That's not the case for most of us, or we wouldn't really have a channel to be talking about this anyway. So it's important for you to kind of go at the pace that you're comfortable, to realize that, okay, I might have to live at home for a few years, or I might have to not be able to go on vacation this year, or I might not be able to save X amount of dollars because I want to make sure I'm paying off my loans. So I don't want you to feel defeated. I don't want you to feel lost or afraid or say, oh my God, I'm 25, I'm supposed to be doing all these things. No. Student loans suck. They're a bitch. They really kind of, it's a business. We know that. We signed the papers at 19, 20, 18, whatever. We're paying it back. But then we have all of these pressures from society saying we need to be doing X, Y, Z while paying back these loans. It's not that easy. It's not that simple. So if you are living at home, if you are paying rent and can't go on vacation, if you can't stunt on Instagram like everyone else, that is fine. It is not a big deal, and you shouldn't expect to have to do all of that and keep up with the Joneses, because it's just not practical. And anyone who says it is full of shit. So those are the 5 things that you can expect when you're expecting student loans. I hope this has been helpful, or at least entertaining for you. And don't forget to watch Millennial in Debt, because it's pretty freaking funny, and I wrote it. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.